So Nathan, it's a point here on the road at Basford United, and very much a game of two halves there.
Certainly was a game of two halves. First half we weren't at it. It wasn't us from the last three games, which was disappointing. But we rode the storm, I think. Second half we've come out and first 10 minutes we've got ourselves back into the game, looked better. We've changed the shape, and from that point it was all us. So all things considered, obviously you got to be happy with the point, I suppose. But I think there was only ever going to be one winner, and we ran out of time basically. So, but yeah.
And just looking at the goal from Basford in that first half, what were your views on that?
Very poor goal, as most goals are, mistakes. We weren't concentrating, and we didn't react, and it was a real scrappy goal. I'd have to see the replay, but on first look, it wasn't great for us.
No, then in the second half, as you already mentioned, much improved from Whitby, and it seemed that the goal eventually came on the back of some momentum that was starting to build there.
Yeah. I think on the hour mark we made the changes, and from that point the width, Basford we're really struggling with that, and we got down the outside of them quite a few times. The goal came, Jalsey running and getting the ball, and obviously stop it from going out. It went back to Hayes. Great first time cross, and Harry's obviously scored the goal, but that was probably the hardest chance to take, and we scored from that. But it was the story of the second half. It was like the Alamo. It was constant from us. We weren't settling on our laurels and looking for a point. We kept going at it, and like I said, I think we've just run out of time and getting a winner.
Yeah, and obviously the goal coming from on the loan man Harry Green, and it was probably deserved after those recent performances, but a bit more surprised the fact it's come off his head there. Yeah,
he's been outstanding again. Can't speak highly enough of him, to be honest. But yeah, he's made that run all game, and it didn't quite go where he wanted it to. On that occasion it did, and that's what it's about. It's about putting yourself in the position time and time again, but he's glanced it. It's a great finish with his head.
Yeah, and as well, you mentioned the build up to that. I think a good corner originally, that was a good idea, good routine, perhaps didn't quite come off, but I suppose the main thing there, the fact that we managed to keep it alive, and I think a lot of credit goes to the likes of Marcus Jalsey for a bus to do it to get there.
Yeah, listen, Jalsey's done what we know he can do, and I think from the corner perspective, we have worked on some things, and we had a lot of joy in the corners. Although we were poor in the first half, we had three where we've had some decent opportunities, free headers. We didn't take advantage of that. So the corners again, they've caused them issues all game, and the quality's been decent. So it was nice to see that.
Yeah, and how's it been preparation-wise this week? Obviously Lee Bullock not being available because of having COVID, unfortunately. Yeah. But how have you found that, taking that training session on your own on Thursday?
Yeah, things don't change. I mean, me and Bully are very similar. It's one of them. You just deal with it. We've had the physio go down with an illness today, so it's just little things. But listen, this is non-league. We don't have two physios, and we don't have replacements that we can bring in. We've just got to crack on with it. And to be fair to the lads, they've all put their effort in. People around the scenes, Mark, the kit man, Rushy, they've stepped up, they've done the thing. So it's teamwork. That's what it's about.
Yeah, and just looking at on the field matters, obviously Josh McDonald, we saw get a few minutes last week as well. He's come on again, but Lewis Hawkins back in the fold as well. I suppose the main thing is that you got these options available to you again going forwards.
It's quite scary to think that Lewis Hawkins and Josh McDonald didn't start a game of football for us today, but that's credit to the boys who've been playing. It didn't quite run for them today, first half. We went with the same kind of team and shape, but I think with Lewis and Josh coming on, just stepped up a level, didn't we? And I think they were a massive part of that. We're very conscious about the fitness levels. Hawksy been out for 7 or 8 weeks. Josh has missed 3 weeks. The surface, got to take that into consideration. But it worked perfectly. They've had a good half an hour between them each, and it just sets us up nicely into next week.
Yeah, and one absentee from today was Priestley Griffiths. Is that just a knock from that one there? It seems to always fit for this week.
No, well, Priestley last week against Mosley was a little bit tight in his groin. It was just before he actually scored that nice strike. His groin didn't affect him too much with the adrenaline, but afterwards he felt it tighten up, and we're probably looking at a couple of weeks with Priestley. So it's unfortunate, but Hawksy coming back, it's a massive plus for us as well.
Yeah, we're just looking ahead now to that game next week, back in the FA Trophy, and Nantwich Town, the visitors, and I'm sure they'll be obviously keen themselves to have a bit of a run because they're not doing that great in the league. But having already beaten once this season at home, I suppose that's going to be an incentive to try and get another one over them.
Yeah, always the case. It's a one-off tie, gives both a break away from the league. I suppose we're doing well. They're not doing so well, and for them it's going to be a free hit. They're away from home. Cup game, only one of us can go through, and it's got to be settled on the day. But not going to worry too much about Nantwich. Just need to worry about ourselves. And you know, if we play to the levels of what we did second half today, you know, it's really prosperous moving forward into the Christmas period.
Thank you very much, Nathan.
All right, mate.